guys, so today we're going to be reviewing the Garmin Striker 4. I wanted to do an unboxing, but I already opened it and I've had it for a while. Just because I wanted to see how it worked, basically what it was about. So I bought it for 120 bucks, and what it comes, I didn't buy the, I think you can buy a carrying case with this, but I just got the straight up fish finder. So what it comes with is, comes with instructions, comes with like some extra clips for hooking onto your boat, but I kind of lost them already. But I still have this piece, which you can screw on, and this moves up and down. It comes with the fish finder piece. This is the main piece. It comes with the transducer, which you put on the back of your boat, and then it comes with the powering cables. So you have your negative and your positive, and then these two wires, it's like a blue and like a reddish brown wire right here. I did not know how to hook it up, but it turns out that you don't even need these two. You can basically cut them off. They're for USB sharing, so if you want to share like your GPS points and stuff on this, that's what you can do. The power gets plugged in right here, and then the transducer gets plugged in right there. That's all you got to do on the back. This, you got to push down a little thing right here, and then just like that, you can set it up and stuff. So this fish finder includes dual beam transducer with CHIRP chirp, 77 to 200 kHz, or otherwise that's also in the chirp thing. The max depth for this thing is 1,600 feet, so 1,600 feet, which I will probably never ever get that deep using this. You can share waypoints and routes with other Striker or EcoMap combos, smooth scaling, depth range adjustments, sonar history rewind for waypoint marking. It includes tilt and swivel mount. So this is the tilt mount. I lost the swivel mount. Includes transom and trolling motor transducer mounting kits. Lost those too. Includes built-in flasher and speed data disabled or displayed directly on screen. So it gives you a few of the pictures of what it looks like. So right here we have the flasher. Below this we have the traditional and the waypoint map. Over here we just have the waypoint map. Oops. And then we have the split sonar. I forgot exactly what it's called. And then you do have to buy a battery for this. You got to buy a 12-volt battery. I have the Expert Power 12-volt, and you also got to buy a charger because it does not come with that. So really quick, let's hook the power up. Power is the thicker cable, and then there's a little indent on the bottom. So the indent on the bottom faces down so it can fit in there. It's quite simple to hook up, but it is also kind of annoying. I mean, I'm using it primarily for ice fishing because there's ice on the lake right now, but it's meant for a boat, and I'm not using it on a boat, so that's probably why it's not the best option for me. Like a Vexilar or a traditional ice fishing flasher would be better for me. And if I got some alligator clips to hook up to these wires, it would be better, because otherwise what I'm doing right now is I'm just bending them onto the outputs for the positive and negative. So transduce, let's plug it in just so it'll work properly, otherwise it says like cannot be used or something like that. So let's plug that in, turn it on, hold down the power button, it beeps, that's how you know it's working. So startup screen just says Garmin for a little bit, and then it'll, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, so I'm going to hold it here for a little bit. Never made that noise before, that was weird. Let's see if you guys can see this. I'm just gonna set it down real quick, like here. Yes. No. Oops, there goes the transducer. Gonna set it. Hopefully you guys can see this because I don't actually know if you guys can see this right now. Did it turn off? Yeah. Try this again. It's kind of tricky. Like you could like build a box for this to put it in. So let's see if you guys can actually see this. No, you can't. Still can't see it well. I'll just read off on this extremely white screen what it says. Turn it off again. That's the only problem with this is when you don't have it like hooked up onto a boat how you're supposed to. You move the wires around any bit, it decides to turn off. So the first option you have is the traditional, which is like a normal fish finder. Then you have your flasher. You have your split frequency, which is a traditional fish finder setup with one on like the low focus, or not low focus, the low sonar scan, and then the highest one. Then you have your waypoint map. You have your waypoint map plus your traditional. You have your user data, your settings, and then you can customize like how the screen looks. So all I use right now is the flasher, and then you can like set, turn this off, you can set GPS locations on here, but I have not gotten that down yet. I kind of need the directions, and the buttons on here, fairly simple. Unplug this. Right here you have an up arrow, down arrow, left arrow and right arrow, a back arrow, a menu button, your GPS marking, like a little arrow, your power button, and then an OK button, which is just a check mark. So I like this because number one of the price. It was 120 bucks. The only other cheap one I could find that had a flasher on it was $175. Another reason why I like it, it's very slim. It's about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. And then of course when you add this on, but you can still bend it all the way down, and it's still pretty small, not going to get in your way. Very simple to use, another reason why I got it. And just once again the price of it, which was pretty awesome. Since it goes up to 1,600 feet, it has all those different options. It's not just one with the traditional normal fish finder on it that tells you the depth and the temperature of the water and shows what the bottom is. This one is actually, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's a 7 or an 8, because it's like, I guess you could say it's kind of a professional type deal, just because of the quality of it. It is water resistant too, which is great, since I'm ice fishing and sometimes it gets left out in the rain. Not waterproof, water resistant. I don't know for how long, but. And I don't know if it's just because of the battery I bought or what, but I can take this out and leave it on for 7 hours straight, and it might use 1 volt. This is a 12 volt battery, and when you turn this on up here, it'll tell you how many volts that you're running. So it usually starts out about 12.5, and at the end of the day it'll be at like 12.4 or 12, and I will not charge the battery for like 2 weeks, and I've never had it go under 12, and I use it a lot. Like I'm always messing around on it, and it's always on. Like if I'm moving different fishing spots, I still keep it on so I don't have to turn it back on. So it uses like no battery, and I don't know if it's just the product or if it's the battery that I have, but that's another bonus to this. If you guys are looking to buy one of these, I would say go and buy it. But if you want to be using this for like ice fishing, I'm pretty sure that they have like a case you can buy for it. I would recommend buying the case if they have one. Otherwise, you can build like a wooden box that you could set this in. But once again, just the price of this fish finder very cheap. And the screen is 3.5 inches by, I would say, 2.5 to 2 inches. And it says device can be exposed to water. Oh, actually it is waterproof. So you can have this underneath water. You can have this in 3 feet of water for 30 minutes, which I guess if it's on a kayak, and your kayak tips, I guess that's the only reason why it'll be underwater. But for the price of this, if you're looking for a flasher, it's the cheapest one I could find. If you're looking for a fish finder, there's cheap ones for like $42, but this has a flasher and a fish finder and a waypoint. So if you were to buy all those separately, you're definitely racking up the price, like probably over $500. So the Garmin Striker 4, this isn't the newest one. I think they have one more model above this one, but the Garmin Striker 4, if you're looking for a fish finder or a flasher, definitely buy it. The only thing it does not come with is the battery. You need either a 10 volt or a 20 volt battery, and then you also need to buy a charger for it, because all it comes with is the flasher, the hookups, and then these cables, which it comes with. I think it's 10 to 12 foot of transducer cable, so you can mount it on the back of your boat. But otherwise, if you're going to use this for ice fishing, let's say that this piece of paper is the top of the ice, and it doesn't really matter how thick the ice is, but if this is the top of the ice and the water is directly underneath this, there's a little flat back here, and you kind of got to balance that perfectly on the ice, because otherwise if it's down in the hole, like if this is the top of the hole, and if it's down like this, just hanging, it won't pick up your jig. And it does surprisingly well with picking up jigs too. Like, I was using a tungsten jig, which is probably about this big, as big as this Lego. If you guys know how big Legos is, this is just one with like 2 little Lego dimple things on it. So that is very small to pick up, and other fish finders would definitely not pick that up. I'm not saying like Vexar, those will pick it up, but like a normal fish finder will probably not pick that up. And on every setting that this has, it picks it up. Sometimes it won't. You just gotta play around with the settings until you can get it. But otherwise, amazing product. 8 out of 10. Let's just give it a 7.5 out of 10, just because of how the setup is. But great product. Would definitely recommend it. And I would say, if you're looking for one, I would get on Amazon right now and order it. So I'll see you guys next fishing or hunting video.